Imagine this. You're walking into a room and every head turns toward you, but not because you're the richest man there, not because you're the most muscular, not even because you're the most handsome. They can't even explain why they're looking, but they are. You've stepped into their awareness like a ripple cutting through still water. And here's the secret most men will never know. Real attraction is not about what they can see. It's about what they can feel. You've been told your whole life that women are visual like men, that they want chiseled abs, a perfect jawline, and a bank account dripping with excess zeros. And while that might catch an eye, it won't hold attention, because attraction, the kind that gets under someone's skin and stays there, has nothing to do with what you flaunt, and everything to do with the energy you project. Money buys comfort, muscles turn heads. But presence, your essence as a man, that's what enslaves hearts. And it's rare, because most men are desperate for validation. They need someone to notice them, like a starving dog waiting for scraps. And women can smell that neediness like smoke in the wind. If you want to be 10 times more attractive, you must first master the art of being unmoved. Not cold, not arrogant, but rooted. A man who is rooted in who he is does not try to get attention. He allows attention to find him. He doesn't chase the room's approval, because his sense of worth was decided long before he walked through the door. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." And for most men, living has been reduced to chasing symbols of desirability, cars, watches, status, followers, without ever developing the one thing that makes them unforgettable, an unshakable inner frame. Women are drawn to a man whose value isn't tied to them, who can admire beauty without being enslaved by it, who speaks slowly, moves deliberately, and never seems rushed, because a man in a hurry is a man who fears loss. A man without fear of loss, however, is magnetic. The day you stop trying to look attractive and start being attractive, you'll notice the stares, you'll feel the pull, and you won't need to say a word. The average man thinks attraction starts with what he adds: a better haircut, a sharper suit, a bigger bank account. But the truth is, the most magnetic men start by subtracting. They strip away everything fake, everything forced, every performance they've been putting on for approval. They stop being an actor in their own life and start being the director. When you remove desperation, when you stop broadcasting that hidden hunger for validation, something changes in the air around you. Women notice it instantly, even if they can't explain it. Your silence feels different. Your gaze feels different. Your touch, when it comes, feels deliberate, not clumsy or rushed. And the strangest thing, the less you try, the more they lean in. Men forget this. Women are experts at reading signals. They've been decoding male behavior since they were teenagers. They can tell if you're trying too hard. They can smell when your compliments are bait. They can sense when you're posturing to seem more important than you are. And that's why your expensive watch and rented car will never compete with the calm certainty of a man who doesn't need anyone to see him win. Stoics understood this centuries ago. They knew that the man who masters himself commands the attention of others without demanding it. It's not arrogance, it's sovereignty. Your kingdom is your mind, your emotions, your decisions. And when you defend that kingdom fiercely, people feel safe in your presence without even knowing why. This is why certain men, even in plain taschen clothes and without a dime to their name, can walk into a room and become the unspoken center of gravity. It's not their style, it's their stillness. They radiate the quiet message: I know who I am. I'm not here to prove it to you. But there's a catch. You can't fake this. Women are too sharp. Life is too sharp. You must actually become that man. That means you stop scrolling for the next dopamine hit, stop drowning in comparisons, stop reacting to every flicker of attention. You train yourself to sit with silence, to carry yourself as if nothing is missing, because nothing is missing. When you subtract everything that isn't truly you, what's left is irresistible. Here's something no one tells you. Women are not attracted to what you say you are. They're attracted to what your behavior quietly proves you to be. Every move you make is a signal. The way you walk into a room, the pace of your speech, how long you hold eye contact, whether you lean in too quickly or make her lean toward you, it's all sending a message. Most men broadcast one thing: need. It's in their nervous laughter, their over-eager responses, their constant checking of the phone when she hasn't replied. Need is the death of attraction. It doesn't matter how good you look or how much you have in the bank. If she senses that her opinion of you will make or break you, she'll lose interest before you even realize what happened. The most magnetic men radiate the opposite. Abundance. Not abundance of money, but abundance of options, abundance of self-belief, abundance of purpose. When you live like you already have everything that matters, you stop trying to convince others to give you value. That shift is powerful. It turns the whole dynamic upside down. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." When a man truly lives this, nothing a woman says or does can knock him off balance. She feels that steadiness. She might test it, she might poke at it, but if it holds, if you hold, that's when she starts to chase. Here's the paradox. The less you make women the center of your world, the more they want to be a part of it. This doesn't mean ignoring them or being cruel. It means your life has a gravity so strong that they feel drawn into it. Your mission, your passions, your discipline, these become the silent competition she feels she has to win. Men who understand this stop playing games. They stop sending double texts to remind her they exist. They stop bending their schedule for a woman who treats them like a backup plan. They stand firm like a lighthouse in a storm, and those who are meant for them find them. When your presence is worth more than your pursuit, attraction becomes effortless. There's a truth most men never learn because they're too busy chasing. Attraction is not about making her feel good, it's about making her feel. Desire lives in contrast. If you're always safe, always predictable, always agreeable, she may like you, but she will not crave you. Craving is born from tension, from the push and pull of presence and absence, from the unpredictability that makes her wonder what's coming next. You see, the human brain is wired for novelty. Women, like men, are pulled toward what challenges their mind and emotions. This is why the man who never tries to impress her, yet occasionally shows moments of deep vulnerability, feels more real and more intoxicating than the man who's always on like a salesman. She doesn't just want pleasure, she wants the thrill of earning it. This is where most men fail. They think constant attention is romantic. They think answering instantly proves they care. But in reality, instant availability says, "I have nothing else going on that matters." And nothing kills desire faster than knowing you're her only option because you've made her your only focus. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions. If your only ambition is her, you've already lost. But when your ambitions stretch far beyond her, when you have challenges, goals, and battles she can't control, she feels the pull of a man she can't fully possess. And that's what keeps her coming back." Here's the dark truth. Attraction thrives when she's never completely sure she has you. Not because you're playing games, but because your life is too big to be owned by anyone. You show her care, but you don't hand her the keys to your identity. You give her access to your world, but you don't dismantle your world for her. This balance, warm yet untouchable, close yet independent, triggers something primal. It tells her you're a man she must continually invest in to keep. And when she invests, she bonds. And when she bonds, she desires. The man who learns to master tension without cruelty, independence without distance, will never struggle for attraction again. Presence is not something you can fake for long. It leaks through every movement, every pause, every word you choose or don't choose. To project it naturally, you must train it the same way a warrior trains his body, through deliberate practice, repetition, and discipline until it becomes instinct. The first step is to slow down. Most men rush. They speak quickly, they move quickly, they answer messages instantly. Rushing communicates scarcity. It says, "I'm afraid if I don't respond now, the moment will pass and I'll lose my chance." But a man who knows his value understands the truth. Opportunities are endless when you're the opportunity. When you slow your speech, you create weight in your words. When you pause before answering, you create anticipation. When you take your time before committing to meet someone, you send the silent message that your time is precious. Because it is. The second step is mastering your body language. Stand tall, but never stiff. Keep your hands relaxed. Hold eye contact just long enough to make it clear you're not intimidated, but not so long it feels like a challenge. When you walk into a room, don't scan it nervously. Move as if you already belong there. The third step is cultivating silence. Most men fill the air with noise because they can't tolerate quiet. But silence, when you own it, is one of the most powerful tools of attraction. It forces others to fill it, to lean in, to speak, to reveal themselves. And in that space, you hold the frame. Marcus Aurelius believed that a man's mastery of himself was the highest achievement. This is what you're building. A calm, unshakable presence that doesn't bend to the emotional storms of others. Women notice this immediately, not because you're trying to impress them, but because in a world full of men chasing, you're the one standing still, and yet everything seems to move toward you. Practice these 3 habits daily until they're not habits, but reflexes. Because the man who commands attention without demanding it doesn't need to ask for attraction. It finds him every time. Rarity is the currency of attraction. What is scarce becomes valuable. What is everywhere becomes invisible. And here's the hard truth. Most men are everywhere. They sound the same, act the same, want the same, chase the same. They offer nothing that a woman hasn't already seen 100 times before. If you want to be 10 times more attractive without money or muscles, you must become rare. Not in a fake, I'm different way, but by actually living in a way most men won't. You must cultivate traits that are in short supply: self-control, emotional depth, the ability to remain steady under pressure, and a life so full that you never need someone else to complete it. Women live in a constant storm of male attention, messages, likes, comments, invitati. Most men believe they stand out by being nicer, funnier, more available. In reality, they blend into the noise. The man who stands out is the one who does not compete for her attention at all, yet still commands it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This is the essence of rarity. You don't tell people you're disciplined. They see it in your body, your work, your daily rituals. You don't tell a woman you're high value. She feels it in the way you prioritize your mission over her moods. The rare man does not sell himself. He lives by principles. He protects his energy. He invests in himself more than he invests in winning approval. And because he's not available to just anyone, every interaction with him carries more weight. She doesn't just get his time, she earns it. She doesn't just get his attention. She feels the unspoken privilege of it. And here's the secret. When you become this man, attraction flips. Women start chasing you. They wonder where you are. They think about what you're doing when you're not with them. They replay your words because you don't throw them away carelessly. You become the rarest thing in their world, a man they can't replace. Rarity doesn't happen by accident. It's a decision followed by 1,000 small acts of discipline, and when you commit to it fully, you'll never be invisible again. One day you're going to realize something that will change the way you move through the world forever. The greatest power a man can have is not the ability to get attention. It's the ability to walk away from it. Every man wants to be wanted, but the man who becomes irresistible is the one who doesn't need to be. He's not empty, waiting to be filled. He's not looking for someone to tell him he's enough. He knows he is, because he's proven it to himself in the quiet hours when no one is watching. You see, when you stop chasing validation, you free yourself from the invisible chains that control us. Most men, chains that make them compromise their standards, chains that make them tolerate disrespect, chains that make them cling to people who've already shown they don't value them. The man who has no fear of loss cannot be manipulated. He cannot be pressured into proving himself. He chooses, and because his choices are rare, they carry weight. When he gives his time, it means something. When he commits, it's not because he has nothing else. It's because he's decided she's worth the space in a life that's already full. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The modern version is simple. You cannot control who notices you, but you can control the man they notice. And when that man radiates strength, purpose, and self-respect, attraction is no longer a game you play. It's a side effect of the life you live. So here's the challenge. Stop thinking about how to impress her and start thinking about how to improve you. Become the kind of man whose presence lingers long after he leaves the room. Speak less, but with more weight. Move slower, but with more intention. Live fuller, but with deeper focus. When you do this, you won't have to wonder if you're attractive. You'll see it in their eyes. You'll hear it in the shift of their tone when they speak to you. You'll feel it in the silence they don't want to break. And you'll know you became the man they could never forget, without ever asking them to.